He doesn't do good with men. He's not built like that. You know, he's a coward when it comes to men.
Yeah.
That's the truth. His anger's always been towards women. He doesn't try men like that. You know, he would get with a girl and they'd hang out, rip and run for a while. And then something would happen, you know, and she'd end up calling me. You know, he choked me out. You know, he jumped on me last night. I don't know what to do. He scares me, you know, all that. When he would be high, that's when he gets so paranoid. He just loses it. You don't hurt children and you don't hurt women. And these women were innocent. It's not like they got they were in a relationship and got in a heated argument. You know, this was on the fly.
Today we're going to be visiting a highly requested case regarding Clownface Wade Wilson. I'm just tired of seeing this guy's face, but here he is. They call him the Deadpool killer, but Clownface works for me. He killed 2 people in a very senseless way, just because. By the way, if you're tuning into Dark Diaries, a true crime channel on Spotify by Chelsea J, I welcome you. 1 week back, the last case that I ever wanted to cover was this one right here. It really was. All I saw was what the media had said. Jail calls. Wade Wilson smirks in trial. Wade Wilson's father testifies. I truly thought that his appearance showed the attention that he desired for what he had done in taking 2 women's lives. And in the end of the content, we're going to hit on the fact that people want something to do with this guy. They want to be involved. They want a piece of the pie.
Say, Daddy.
Daddy.
Yeah, there you go, baby. I love that shit. That shit's so sexy. Yo, I'm glad I am in a one-man cell because that shit turned me on.
Oh, God.
Yeah, man.
When it comes to this guy, Wade Wilson, he's being sensationalized. So I'll be sending these little Wade supporters a special message from myself in the end of this content, because I have an opinion. And for what it's worth, Wade Wilson has had his teeth knocked out as he was incarcerated in the past, but that didn't teach him anything, obviously. It's like another Tuesday for Wade Wilson. However, I want to thank you for requesting this case, because underneath and behind all the headlines and the broadcastings of this case is honestly one hell of a story. I've laughed, not at the case or the victims, but people just reacting to the things that Wade Wilson does. I mean, it's made me laugh. I'm going to share that experience with you here a little bit later, but I've also cried. I've cried because I think today that we're all going to relate to this case more than we knew that we could. Now, there are some other channels that feature back to back to back fact regarding anything to do with Wade Wilson. And if you're looking for that here, you're not going to find it, because what I'm going for is I'm trying to find an approach in a sense that we're talking about a very mentally sick guy. And we're talking about a kid that was adopted and grew up very troubled, and then the reuniting with his biological father. And so it kind of goes into this father's love for his son's story, what love really is about, the world of addiction, mental illness, a man hurting women, lies. I mean, it's very deep. But we're going to be getting in really deep in the emotional stuff when it comes to this case today as well. So we're going to cover Wade's background just a little bit. We're going to cover some trial testimonies, and then we're going to cover a specific channel's reaction to some of the calls. Now, viewer discretion is advised, because I wouldn't want my children hearing some of the things that are going to be in this content, or anybody that is sensitive to DV. Additionally, if you already know this story, then you can go ahead and skip the trial clips if you want to, but I went in and I heard all of these people's testimonies, and I took everybody's statements and I was able to apply it. So that way, when we talk about what happened with the 2 women that were murdered, it's the victims' voices of, all these people that have been affected by Wade Wilson's actions. I wanted them to be able to talk about it for themselves as much as possible, rather me, sit around for story time. So hang in there with me while I brief Wade Wilson's background. Wade Wilson is 30 years old. And before he was born, his father, Stephen Testasaka, had his own burdens as a young teenager to bear himself. Stephen had gotten this 14-year-old girl pregnant at the age of 15 himself. Stephen was also a divorced child, and he resided with his mother when this all happened. Stephen's mom, however, died a month before the baby was born from lung cancer. So he lost his support system, which was his mother, and consequently, he was left to navigate the responsibilities of fatherhood with the birth of his son. But Stephen ended up getting into some legal trouble shortly after Wade was born, and he ended up spending 8 months in jail. At this time, Wade's mother, who was probably around 15 or 16 at this point, was doing everything with Wade herself and just with her family's support. To this day, Stephen, Wade's biological father, says that those people that helped his girlfriend at the time were really wonderful support for her when he was incarcerated. However, when he was getting ready to be let out, he was served that she had decided she was going to be adopting Wade out. At the time, he felt pretty helpless, and so he decided this is, what he needed to allow to happen. Story goes, her family attended a church where another family within that same church was looking to adopt, and they were interested in adopting a son. So they ended up adopting Wade into their family as their own, and this was the Wilsons. Their names were Candy and Steve Wilson. They were good people of faith. They were great parents. They raised Wade in this gorgeous house. I mean, wow. When I saw what the house looked like, I didn't want to post it on the internet because it looked like it was still their current address. But my goodness. And people that knew of Wade and where he lived also called this the suburbs of Florida, which is where this case takes place. I also, I'm nosy. I did a background check on Wade Wilson, and wow, he owned a really nice truck. Like, outright owned it. Like, this guy would have had it made. He had a chance to have a very, very good life with this new family. However, there was a turn of events. Candy and Steve said that at first, Wade's childhood seemed like it was going really well for him. He was very well adjusted and was an active member of the family as a child. But by age 13, his family said he had completely changed. He was paranoid. He was withdrawn. He was closing blinds, thinking that people were looking in and watching their family. And at one point, he thought that there was some kind of entity living in the garage. But Steve, who is also the adoptive father's name, Steve Wilson, confirmed that there was nothing in the garage. I also read that about 11 years old, Wade started expressing to his parents that he did not feel mentally well. And it should be noted from inside resources that knew about Steve and Candy that these weren't overbearing adoptive people, but they were pretty balanced with Wade. They weren't driving him to get to know Jesus, but they were people of faith. And so they introduced the Lord into his life, and they were really said to be good people. I don't know what happened with Wade's early teen years. I'm not sure what it was in knowing this background with his family. What made him want to decide it was a good idea to try going the route of addiction? Maybe it was the wrong crowd that he got into, because I also read from classmates that knew Wade that he was very antisocial, but only very social with the wrong crowd. And that by the time he was an early teenager in school, people remember him being just really weird. He was like withdrawn, and he would wear dark clothes, and that he was putting a hoodie over his face. And at lunch, he was into drugs, right? So he was passing those things around. An individual that attended school with Wade said, that group wouldn't even eat food. They would just pass around drugs during lunch, and that, prior to school, they would go smoke dope in the woods. So at some point early teens, he's just getting hooked into this stuff. Well, obviously this was a secret, right? He's not going to go to his parents and they're going to approve that, the kind of people they were. So they found the drugs. So he was subject to what's called the Baker Act, which is something out in Florida. It's a law that enables families and loved ones to provide emergency mental health services and temporary detention. Now, as Wade continued to grow up, he was said to have had head injuries regarding the sports that he played and 2 car accidents. When Wade was 18 years old, he reached out to his biological mother, who was said to have not handled the life after his adoption well at all. The adoption affected her really bad, and she spiraled. She got into some legal trouble. But then he was also linked back to his father, Stephen, his biological dad, who was more consistently present from that moment forward with his biological son, Wade. Wade wanted to know his biological parents, and I think some of you might know that I was adopted at 8 years old, and if you don't, you do now. Yeah, 8 years old, did the whole foster system thing. So I'll talk from experience a little bit more on this relationship between Stephen and Wade. Of course, my opinion only. Now, Wade is a 6'3" man. That is one tall dude, and he looks just like Stephen.
You know, well, first off, are you tall?
No, absolutely
Well, he's
not.
pretty tall, right?
I don't know where he got that from. He didn't get it from us, I promise you.
He might not be yours, man.
Luckily, I did get the DNA test, so I know that for sure.
I hate to say that, bro. I'm just playing, man, you know. But,
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, where the hell did this dude get this height from? Everybody keeps saying he's 6'5". He's not 6'5".
skips a generation or something. Oh, he's not 6'5"?
No, he's not 6. He's like 6'3".
6'3", 6'3
Don't
and a half.
get me wrong.
He's 6'3", but okay. That's tall.
Yeah, he's tall. You know, when I first met him, you know, like I said, we talked for a little while, and he was in and out of jail. You know, the time he was in Tallahassee, I was in Central Florida. So, you know, it never worked out. And he ended up getting locked up one day in Tallahassee in the county jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I called up there and talked to a supervisor or whatever. And I said, you know, I explained the situation to him. I said, this is my son, you know, he was given up for adoption. Haven't had the chance to meet him. You know, is there any way I can come up and visit? And he said, can you be here tonight? I said, yeah. And he said, all right, when you get here, I'll let you visit for a little while. So that's where we met face to face the first time, you know. And I remember he was already sitting down through the glass, you know, when I walked up, and we picked up the phone, and he looked at me and he said, are you my dad? I said, yeah, I'm your dad. And he said, I knew it. You know, it was almost like we just, you know, we connected. You know,
Sad, man.
yeah, we did connect, but you know, we just never had the chance. You know, he was doing his thing. So
It's your son, man. You know.
yeah,
He seemed normal.
no, absolutely not.
Oh no!
But you have to understand. By the time he came into my life, you know, we were in opposite ends of everything. You know, he was where I once was. You know, he was in active addiction. He was, you know, doing that thing. You know, just everywhere.
I mean, did he tell you this when did he tell you straight up, hey, I'm addicted to this, that, and the third? Okay, he just straight up told you, huh?
Yeah, well, we talked, and I knew, I could tell. And, you know, I told him about my past, and he told me where he was at that time. And, you know, it really, I felt like I needed to make up lost time. So, you know, anything he wanted, you know, I was sending him money, getting him hotel rooms, sending him Ubers, you know, anything.
I have found it really normal when adopted kids reconnect with their biological parents or, you know, someone in the biological bloodline, that someone in that clique feels a sense of responsibility to make it all right. This can even be the adopted child doing that. Suddenly, after all this time goes by, for the life that you've always known and that reconnection happens, there is that sense of, this is who I was before. This is where I've originated from. This is the part of me that's always wondered. And that can often come with grief of lost time. Other times, right, it can be a truly 100% wonderful thing. Everything worked out, everybody healed and saw the best in everything that happened. But again, in other times, that imbalance of this expected 50-50 effort for this new formed relationship, it's not 50-50. That can happen a lot with biological parents and adopted kids. Sometimes it's 80-20. Sometimes it's 90-10. But especially when drugs get involved, it can be 100-0. 100 effort to nothing at all. Okay? So what ended up happening was Steven, his biological dad, actually started financially supporting Wade when Wade got out of jail. He would hook him up with Ubers and hotels. Wade wanted to use the assistance of his biological father, Steven, to financially support him to live pretty low, do the street life, run on the streets kind of thing. And at one point it was said that Wade was even interested in getting financial support from Steven to go run the streets with his biological mother. And Steven said no, but he did continue to remain in Wade's life.
He was, in and out of jail. He ended up going to prison. And he did about a year. And that's where he lost his teeth at.
How'd that happen?
He just got jumped on, He doesn't do good with men.
Yeah.
He's not built like that. He's a coward when it comes to men.
Yeah.
That's the truth. When he was in prison, he was checking in multiple times, owing people money, just doing that stupid stuff. So his anger's always been towards women. He doesn't try men like that.
Well, was there any time where you felt like that you seen him get violent with women before any of this other stuff took place?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What would end up happening is, he would get with a girl and they'd hang out, rip and run for a while. And then something would happen, and she'd end up calling me. He choked me out. He jumped on me last night. I don't know what to do. He scares me, all that. And when he would be high, that's when he gets so paranoid and he just loses it. He becomes a different, how alcohol makes some people courageous, when he would do meth, that's what would happen. But it was always with women, he's never had a problem with women, getting women. So that's who he would always take everything out on.
So I will be completely honest that Wade's timeline of crime, nuts. Charges such as sexual battery, theft, drug trafficking. Like, this guy was it was a way of life for him. It was just nonstop. I mean, it'll make you dizzy. Truly, I think that if I tried to cover everything that this guy did since his early teens, that you would probably just click out of the video. Trust and believe that it was a nonstop way of life for Wade. Just a big cycle, a big rabbit hole. All of Wade's crimes were extremely dumb and pretty senseless. But Wade Wilson earned the name Deadpool Killer, based off a Marvel killer, but remember, he's Clownface on Chelsea J. But he earned that nickname once he was finally behind bars for the final time. He is now on death row, based off of his wicked and senseless violence that took place against multiple people starting on October 6th and 7th of 2019. So Wade Wilson was out with his girlfriend Mila, also known as Melissa Montanez, that October night on the 6th. That night, Diane Ruiz and Kristine Melton would have less than 24 hours left to live. And they hadn't even met him yet. Just a little before they'd cross paths with their killer, Wade and Mila would argue at the Buddha Live. All that Mila knew was that her boyfriend Wade had met someone named Jason at the Buddha Live. And at that point, Wade insisted that they go to Jason's, or at least with Jason. But Mila said no.
Did you tell him that you weren't going to go to this house with him?
Yes, I expressed at least 3 times he was trying to convince me to go to a house I did not want to go to.
So did you end up going with him to the house? How did he get there?
He stole my vehicle and went.
So did you know he was going to take your vehicle?
No.
How did you find out that your vehicle was...
I saw it leaving the Buddha.
Okay. So you were stuck at the Buddha without your car?
And Amy was out there. She was watching it drive away as well. And she said, "It's okay, come to my house."
My name is Amy Slobosian. We've been friends for over 10 years.
Does she have a nickname?
Mila.
I want to direct your attention to the 6th of October of 2019.
I just recently came back from South Dakota, and I was like, I want to go see some friends, so I went down to the Buddha.
And about what time did you go there?
It was a little after 10.
And when you got there, did you see anyone you knew?
I saw Mila.
Okay. Did you see anyone else?
I saw Wade.
At some point in the evening, did you decide to leave the Buddha?
Yes, I did. It was a little before closing time. I usually leave before it's after 2. And I walked outside, and when I walked outside, I noticed Mila's car to the right of me leaving, and then I noticed to the left of me at the stoop, Mila was standing there. So I was like, "Why is your car driving away?" And she said, "Wade took the car and he left." So I offered her a ride to my house if she wanted to just come to my house, because I was right around the corner.
Okay. And did she accept your
Yes,
offer?
she did, and she spent the night with me.
Okay. Where did she sleep that night?
She slept on the sofa.
Did anything happen the following morning?
Yes, I had my bedroom door open, and I heard her speaking on her phone saying, "I don't know, let me check for a piece of mail and I'll give you the address." And I hollered to her, "Mila, I don't know him. I don't want him in my house. My son is here. I will take you wherever you need to go. Like, if you want me to drive you somewhere, I'll take you wherever you need to go." So she was like, "We'll just meet you at my spa."
Did you ultimately wind up driving her to the spa?
Yes, I did. So they were on the phone while we were pulling up, and she said, "We're going to be pulling up soon." And he goes, "I'm pulling in right now." And it wasn't her car, because there was a black car in front of us that was turning and pulling in.
At this point, we go back to Mila's testimony that matched Amy's. Mila stated that Wade was calling Mila from an unknown number, which is later discovered to be the victim Kristine's cell phone. The black vehicle that gets mentioned that he was driving that morning was also Kristine's property. Mila then goes on to describe a serious criminal offense in what she says happened next.
So did you end up going to her house?
Yes.
And did you spend the night at her house?
Yes.
Where did you stay?
On the couch.
Now, did you ever hear again from Wade Wilson?
At roughly 6, my phone starts either texting or calling. Around 8-something, 8:45, I start noticing and I start answering his phone calls.
Okay, so the first calls that he's making or text messages he's making, you don't receive those or talk to him at all?
I was sleeping.
When you first spoke with him, tell the jurors about how that conversation went.
When I first heard his voice, it was, "Where are you? Can I come get you?" I can't really remember, but it was more calm at first.
Okay.
As I started saying, "I want my keys, I want my car, where are you? I need to get them back," it escalated more into name calling and aggression and intimidation.
Okay. Now, let's go to where it starts to escalate. How are you able to tell that he's starting to escalate?
raising his voice, calling me names.
What names is he calling you?
Bitch, cunt, whore, all these different names. And just, I can't remember the threats per se, but it was very intimidating.
Did he appear to sound angry?
Very angry.
Did you feel scared at this point?
Yes.
Did you recognize the number that he was texting you and calling you from?
No.
Had he ever called or texted you from that number before?
No.
Now, did you end up agreeing to meet him someplace?
Yes.
What was your purpose in meeting with him?
To retrieve my car and to get my keys, because I was finale. That was it. I wanted my property back, to never see him again.
Now, did you believe that he would show up in your car when you met him?
Of course. That's what he left in, yes.
So where did you agree to meet him?
Mila Spa.
Now, when you arrived at Mila's Spa, did you see your Hellcat?
No.
Did you see a different car?
Yes.
And was it a car that you recognized?
No.
And again, was that a car you had ever seen before?
No.
When you got there, did you get out and try to talk to him?
Yes.
And again, what were you trying to talk to him about?
I went to the driver's side window. He wrote it down. I said, where are my keys? Where's my car? He was calm and just saying, get in the car, get in the car. And it escalated quickly.
Did you agree to get in the car?
No.
And when you would not agree to get in the car, how did he act?
Violent, aggressive, tried to pull me in the car physically. And I resisted, got plank style so that he could not grab me into the vehicle. And I was being pulled into the car by my dress.
Okay, so for the record, you just stood up and put your hands straight above your head.
Yes, so that I was not being able to be budged into the vehicle. I was getting away from him and he was still holding onto the dress. He opens the car door, obviously forgets to put it in park. The car starts to roll forward. He tackles to me to the ground. The car grazes both of our legs and I'm pummeled to the ground.
How hard did he push you to the ground?
I'm sorry, I don't recall. This is also fast and he's very heavy and I'm 5'2", he's 6'6", so.
Now, what happens after you are pushed to the ground?
I start to get beat.
Now, you mentioned that the fight is happening around the car. Does the fight move at some point?
Yes, so I either get drugged, pulled, can't remember, by my hair, or arm, or dress, I'm trying to reason with him, trying to talk to him, but there's nobody behind those eyes anymore. So there was no reasoning with him. I got to the front of the staircase, and I'm holding onto that, and a crowd begins to develop. I'm expecting people to help, call 911, so I'm just trying to bide my time at that point as quickly as help can get there, and that's not working either. I'm starting to get punched and grabbed and choked and all kinds of things again. Somehow we move up to the upper level. I'm trying to convince him, let's just go in Mila Spa. We'll talk about it there. We're safe there.
What was your thought process in getting him to your spa?
Elongate the amount of time it took to get help. I was trying anything that I could to expand the amount of time that I didn't have to go to his car where I'd probably never be seen again. The cop even said that's the most amount of pings they've ever heard from a 911 call ever. There was a crowd out there. And I didn't know whether, in my head, I didn't know whether I was going to be thrown over. I didn't know whether he was going to drag me in and then they would have to resuscitate my body if they got me inside. I knew I was going to die that day. I was just buying time. The final and end punch that I remember, he got me so straight on and blood just went crazy everywhere. And it almost was like a minute where I could dunk under and run under his arm, run down the stairs. And then that's when my neighboring businesses, the design studio, were calling me, Mila, get in here. And then I didn't even realize how crazy I looked, but they rescued me, and I don't know what happened after that. I'm assuming he left.
Going back to the night that Wade argued with Mila, taking her Dodge Hellcat and abandoning her, the next portion we'll hear about is how Wade crossed paths with his victim, Kristine. Her friend who was with her that night would end up testifying to her experience as to what the evening was like around Wade and Kristine together, until her friend learned that she was the second person to ever see her friend Kristine alive again.
Kristine and I had planned to meet up later that night and to go out drinking at the Buddha bar in Fort Myers.
Had you ever been to the Buddha bar?
I had not been there before.
When you got there, what was just sort of the general environment of the bar?
It wasn't overly crowded. There was, a decent amount of people there that night, dancing, drinking. There's a couple of different bars in the main bar, and, we were down at one bar, we danced, we got drinks at other bars, we talked to the people that were there.
Did you, obviously you're drinking and listening to music this entire time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had been drinking pretty heavily that night.
And is that why you chose to get an Uber?
Yes, yeah, we both knew we were going to be drinking, so we didn't want to be driving at all.
Now, while you were there, did someone approach you?
Yeah, towards the end of the night, as we were walking up to the upstairs bar, somebody jumped out in front of me, kind of just like to get my attention, and said, "Hey, who's your friend?" He seemed friendly and introduced himself, and I grabbed Kristine and said, "Hey, this guy wants to meet you."
What was his demeanor?
Friendly, charming.
Is there any red flags that popped up when you were talking to him?
No.
How did he introduce himself to you?
At that point, he introduced himself as JR.
Do you see JR sitting in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Would you please point to him and identify an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Right there, in a bright blue suit.
Let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant. Now, after you introduced him to Kristine, what happened next?
Kristine and I and JR and another man, Jason, who we were introduced to by JR, talked at the bar, mingled. Kristine and JR seemed to be interested in each other. Me and Kristine had commented on how he had dimples, and one of the guys she had been talking to earlier in the night only had one dimple, and he had two dimples. And, she definitely was attracted to him, and he seemed attracted to her, and they were friendly and getting to know each other.
Now, you mentioned that JR introduced you to someone by the name of Jason.
Yes, so there was another man that he was with at the bar named Jason, and I was under the impression that they were there together as friends, just like me and Kristine had been.
At some point, did you take your talking and socializing outside of the bar?
Yeah, so that was at the end of the night, and the bar was closing. So they were kind of shuffling everybody out the door. Kristine and I went outside, and we're still continuing to socialize with JR and Jason until, it was decided to leave. And me and Kristine had came in an Uber, so we followed Jason and JR to their car. JR had tossed the keys over to Jason, and we were gonna go after party.
Now, you mentioned that JR threw the keys over to Jason. Mm-hmm. What type of car was it that you got in?
It was a Dodge Hellcat, I think it's called.
Whose car did you believe that was?
I believed it was Jason's at that point.
You believed it was Jason's car?
I don't really remember. I just know Jason was driving at that time, so my assumption was that it was his car. But we ended up at Jason's house.
And then State's Exhibit number 9, that's Jason's house?
Yes.
When you arrived at Jason's home, was anyone else present?
Yeah, his mom was home. So when we walked in the front door, his mom was awake and on the couch and not very happy that he was bringing people home. We tried to make small talk and, kind of ease the situation, but we just ended up going to Jason's bedroom, which was down the hall from there.
Now, when you got back into Jason's bedroom, what happened with Kristine and JR?
So pretty quickly after getting to Jason's house, Kristine and JR started having sex.
You mentioned that they started out having sex. Did their sexual encounters appear to be consensual?
Yes.
So there was nothing that, again, at this point, that caused any red flags?
No. Kind of, quickly, JR was saying, oh, we got to go. This guy doesn't want us here anymore. And it was kind of at that point that I realized that Jason and JR didn't know each other before this night. The way JR was, seeming at the beginning of the night was that, they were there together. And then when we were leaving, it was, it didn't seem that way. It seemed like this guy wanted us out of his house, and it was kind of quickly an exit. But when we went to the driveway, we got back into the car that we came in, which Jason had drove at that time, but now JR was driving. We go and get in the car, and JR is trying to back the car out of the driveway, and he can't get it to go in reverse. It's just revving the engine in the driveway.
Is the car a manual or a stick shift?
It's a stick shift car.
Is it clear to you that he was unable to drive a stick shift?
Yes.
So what happened is you're in the driveway and he's revving the engine?
So Jason actually had come outside because he heard the engine revving, and said, you guys got to leave. You can't be here anymore. You're being too loud. It's, almost the morning. At that point, JR had actually gotten the car into reverse and into the street. He was trying to get the car into drive and go forward, and same thing, he couldn't get the car to move. He's just revving the engine in the middle of the street. It was at that point that I got out of the car and said to Kristine, I said, get out of the car, let's take an Uber. Let's get in an Uber and go home.
So were you able to make contact with an Uber driver to have them come pick you up?
Yes, Kristine called the Uber.
Now, once the Uber driver arrived, did you get into the Uber right away?
Yes, I got into the Uber right away. Kristine and Wade Wilson were looking for his cell phone. He couldn't find his cell phone. So they started to walk back towards Jason's house to look for his cell phone. I don't know if they made contact with him. I was sitting in the Uber at that point with the Uber driver, and both him and I remember him saying, oh, they got 5 minutes or I'm leaving. And, both of us were ready to go at that point.
Now, to your knowledge, did Wade Wilson, or the person that was saying that he was JR, did he ever find his phone that night?
I don't believe so.
What happened when you got back to Kristine's home?
When we got back to Kristine's home, the three of us went into her house, and I know Kristine and I had this sense of relief that we had made it home, that we got home, safely.
Prior to leaving, did everything seem fine?
Yeah, it did. And I remember telling Kristine, I have to go home. I have to go to work. And she was like, okay. She hugged me and kissed me goodbye and said, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And again, when she told you goodbye and that she'd see you tomorrow, did you have any concerns for her safety?
No.
And in fact, if you did, would you have left her home with just her and Wade Wilson in that house?
Not at all. And if she was concerned, Kristine would have never let me leave that house if she was scared. She would have said, let's get this guy out of here together.
So when you left, is it safe to say that really the night was over? The party was over?
Yeah.
It's already morning time.
Mm-hmm. And, like I said, we had this sense of relief that we had made it home. We obviously were in a car with somebody who couldn't drive a car, and I know for me that was the scariest part of that night, was the being behind the wheel of a car with somebody who couldn't drive. And I know when we got back to Kristine's house in that Uber, it felt like, we were home safe.
Boy, what a sad story. I should add in that I like all the witnesses so far in this case, except the bad guy himself and all of his current enablers and all the people that have enabled his appearance or helped him along through prison. I mean, those people are like totally different thing. But I like this woman. She worked at the same place that her friend Kristine worked. And you could tell, that night on October 6th into the early morning of October 7th, like she took one for the team. She was all hanging out with this stranger guy, Jason, while her friend Kristine was being wooed, hitting it off sexually and emotionally due to physical attraction with Wade. And just the fact that she said she felt the safest when she arrived to Kristine's, when the danger was with them all along since the moment that Wade popped himself into their lives, inserting himself through his charm, like the whole time. They thought that the danger was who was driving the car and making it home to one place safe and sound. It's just creepy. So Wade ended up strangling Kristine to death in her sleep. And I hope that this friend of hers knows that she did the best that she could after she left, that this wasn't her fault. And I don't know how she got herself home. I am assuming that maybe when she sat on the couch, took her shoes off, kicked back a little bit, that maybe she felt like she was sobering up. I don't know what she did, how much participation she had in the recreational drug use at Jason's or whatnot. I mean, but somehow she got home. She left that night. And a lot of people, if they had been drinking and using, they would have just slept on the couch. And I thank God that she didn't stay and sleep on Kristine's couch that night. Well, Wade's bio dad, Steven, would say that it was the fight with Mila at Buddha Live that ticked Wade off enough to begin, this whole thing. And it seems like Steven believes that Wade, under the influence of drugs, somebody that gets paranoid, alongside this argument with a woman, that would be the starting point of when he decided he was going to target another woman, but the rage was still within him. And you're mixing anger with substances and alcohol. And at that point, it sounds like he was out to get Kristine, the next woman in his way. Well, the bad news is, they met back up on October 7th and they had another fight. And at Jason's home the night before, the early morning before this morning when they met and fought again, they were all using, okay? They took a lot of substances. So he's high. He's still high. And he's now pissed off again at his girlfriend again. So unfortunately, this leads to a cycle where he goes off and he does the same thing. And this is how victim number 2 perishes. And her name was Diane Ruiz. She was a beautiful mother of 2 kids, and she was engaged to be married. She was very committed to her job that she usually Ubered to. But that day, it just happened coincidentally that her Uber driver was unavailable to take her to work. So she started on her way. She walked. And that was when she encountered Wade Wilson. And once again, I want to say, I just hope that the Uber driver isn't blaming themselves for what happened, because I know how easy it is to try to take weight and responsibility for things that if you hadn't been in a certain situation, or if you just had been in a certain situation, maybe it could have been different. Maybe you could have been the difference. I hope that these people, the friends, the Uber driver, they're not the filler between what's usual and what's normal to this crime that was committed, these murders. It's not their responsibility to take. This is not anybody else's fault but Wade's. He's a fool. And I know that in today's society that nobody really refers to people as a fool. You'll usually hear other names being called, like bitch, like POS, like, I don't know, whatever else is out there. But biblically, if you read about what that means to be foolish or to be a fool, that is the heaviest insult of them all. He's a fool. He preyed on Diane by asking her directions for somewhere ahead because he was not familiar with the town that he was in. He's also high. Somehow, according to him, he was able to get her in the car. I'm not so sure that that's the truth, because the way that he says it, I got her in the car. I was driving the car and I choked her out. And I almost had her. Then I kicked her out. I ran her over. But to be honest with you, I'm not so sure. All we know is that Diane somehow was his target and ended up in the vehicle he was driving, which was Kristine's. She was choked out, and when he thought that he had killed her, well, Diane was fighting for her life. She wasn't going to go out this way, and she might have had a fighting chance because her house was literally a 10-minute walk from the home to the job. So it's not like her home wasn't nearby or her job wasn't nearby. It was very close, and she was going to fight for her life, and he saw it. And instead he took it away from her like he was God. He ran her over numerous times, and what he describes, leaving her there to look like spaghetti from the damage he caused in running her over. Man, so this is what her fiance testified. This is what he had to say.
I'm Scott Hannon, the fiance of Diane Ruiz.
Mr. Hannon, I'd like to direct your attention back to the 7th of October of 2019. What were you doing that day?
I was working.
Okay. When did you leave for work?
I usually leave at 6:30 in the morning.
So you didn't see her after you'd left, is that correct?
Nope.
Did you have any contact with her after you left for work that day?
A brief text message. She didn't think I gave her a kiss goodbye.
Had you?
Of course.
I don't even have words for that. I am truly so sorry to him and her children for the loss of Diane. I can tell you already that Diane was a very sweet person, just in the fact that she would help somebody like Wade. You know, he may have gone out of his way to prey on her, but she had a shift to catch that day. She was walking, she was on her way, and she stopped everything to help him. That's what they call giving the shirt off your back. And the fact that he ran her over eventually, but this is the scariest part to me, to pedestrians, to bystanders, to perfect strangers that want to just help somebody just because. You got a guy like Wade that's on a murder spree just because. The fact that he ran her over in the end actually makes me wonder like what her chances were of surviving at all. She tried to help him and she got killed anyway. But if she had said no, like I'm on my way to work, just, no thank you, sorry, can't help, I'm going to be late. I mean, what would he have done? Was he going to kill her anyway because he was angry? Did she even stand a chance in doing everything right? And that's the scariest part for me. This guy is a fool.
Soon after, about 5 miles away, Fort Myers police officer Tim McCormick received information regarding Melissa's battery and spotted a vehicle and driver matching Wade's description in the parking lot of a Joe's Crab Shack restaurant.
I have to detain you. By our procedures, I have to detain you. Because of the battery this morning. There wasn't any battery? All right. Just wait till my partner gets here. No, 4-1. Gonna need a couple more minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hey. Oh, buddy. Camera over there. Don't do it. He's in his car, attempting to take off. Back up. Yes, please. He's taking off, Fort Myers. Just ran a stop sign going up towards McGregor.
Wade managed to escape and drove over 6 miles from Fort Myers to a business on Hancock Bridge Parkway in Cape Coral. Desperate for help, Wade approached Josh, a businessman he knew through a previous...
Now, after this incident, there appears to be this very strange photo of Wade and the black car cycling around online, and this would be, at some point, a time when Wade enters a business. Wade was disheveled and pacing around, and that he had admitted to murdering people. And the guy really wasn't buying it. Wade was in sweatpants. He wasn't wearing a shirt. He just seemed like he was high, because he was. But then Wade pressed harder and he said that he needed a plane ticket or help me get out of here, and he kind of knew like, oh, I'm okay. So he found a way to get away from Wade. He's like, I got to go do this thing. I'll be right back. And he ended up calling the police. However, when the police showed up, Wade was gone. Now, nobody had heard from Kristine, and unfortunately, she was found dead, eventually in her home, wrapped up in a blanket. He was going to be dragging Kristine to the car and getting rid of the body, but she was too heavy, allegedly, which is really strange to think about a 6'3" man not being able to hold weight. I think his enablers are really missing this fact here when they're like, he's so fine, dude. This guy's got muscle. He's got a beautiful smile. Like, we'll talk about that later, but the guy couldn't even lift a woman. He was supposed to be some guy that was good in high school at sports. I don't know. Now, Diane's purse was found outside of a building. Somebody took the purse into the building. They took it to the home. The son was home at Diane's house, and he said, my mom's at work. They went to go take the purse to work, and she had not shown up. So that's when she was reported a missing person. And later, her body also would be discovered. If we know Wade, he makes messes and expects people to clean it up for him. So who else would he call other than his biological father? So now, for what Wade's biological father, Stephen, has to say about all of this. When Wade calls Stephen, Wade has already broken into somebody's house that wasn't home. He drank 5 of their White Claws, he ate their popcorn, and then he showered in their shower after stealing their clothes and putting it on himself. So he ends up calling his bio dad Stephen twice. So we're going to hear that right now, where he was, what his father was doing, and just all of it, like his opinion on the victims, the families, his son. Yeah. And by the way, he was the one to turn in Wade.
Let's start about around the time when he tells you about the first murder.
Yeah.
How the hell did that go down, man? Did you even believe him at first?
No. He's never told me a story like that. Hey, I killed somebody. Usually it's a long drawn out, my car's broke down, or his girlfriend's car's broke down. We need tires. We need this. So it was always those type of kind of junky move stories, and just needing help, But so when he called me, I was working. It was early afternoon. And it was a random number that I didn't recognize, but that was normal. He would call me from all different kinds of numbers. He couldn't keep a phone. So I answered the phone, and he said, hey, Dad, I need some help. Well, I automatically thought, he needs a hotel. He needs money for whatever. So it was a hot day. I was frustrated. I said, listen, call me around dinner time. I'll be done working. Just call me then. We'll figure it out. So he calls me. He's in a panic. I could tell he's high. And I need help. I've done something I can't take back. There's 2 people that aren't with us anymore. And
did you know any of those girls? Didn't know nothing about them, huh?
I live 2 hours away, so I'm not familiar with that area at all.
Yeah.
And my first thought was, oh God, here we go. I just thought he was on one. And we talked for a few minutes. I said, listen, I'm on my way home. I said, call me back tonight and we'll figure it out. I said, are you safe where you are? And he said, yeah, I'm good. I'm in the house. I'm good. I said, all right. So in the meantime.
And he's already told you about taking 2 people out.
Yeah, but it was general. That's all he said, and he didn't say, he just said, I've done something I can't take back. I'm a changed person. I promise you.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of times I go back in that mode. Okay. And I know when something's going on, a lot of times I just react and I don't take a breath and think about it, and that was part of it. I wanted to get home. I wanted to talk to my wife. because I knew there was a different vibe about this conversation with him. As I'm driving home, I get a call, and it's a detective from the Cape Coral Police Department.
Before you even talk to him again?
Yeah. In between the second call and me getting home to talk to my wife, I get a call from a detective. And what he had done was called me from one of these girls' phones.
Oh, man.
So that's how they got my phone number. And in the process, I got a text message from somebody telling me that my son had jumped on his girlfriend and tried to kidnap her. So as I'm on the phone with the detective, I get a text message that tells me that. So I'm thinking, oh man. The detective asked me who I was. I said, I'm his biological father. And she said, do you know where he's at? And I said, no, I don't know where he's at. And she said, have you heard from him? I said, yeah, I've talked to him a couple times today. And she said, are you going to talk to him again? We need to talk to him. And I said, he said he'd call me later, you know? And she said, listen, take this number down. If you hear from him, call us. I said, okay. Hung up the phone with her, went home, talked to my wife, told my wife about the text, told my wife about the detective, you know, what Wade had said to me. And that's the only details I knew at that time. So, you know, I was kind of left for a couple hours waiting to hear from him. And he finally called me. It was about 10 o'clock at night when he called me from the same number he called me from earlier.
And it's a girl's number.
No, not the first time. That
was
from the girl phone. The second time was from a different number.
Oh, okay.
And he told me he was in a house, he was safe. What he did was he took both of their phones. So he kept Kristine's phone open and called me from that phone initially. And then a lot of stuff happened in between, and he ended up in a house. You know, he broke into a house. He called me about 10 o'clock, and we talked, just small talk for a few, you know, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Dad, I need you to come get me. I'm in trouble. So I'm like, you know, my first reaction, I said, are you safe? And he goes, I'm safe. I just got to get out of here. So I jump up. I'm going to get my shoes on, get ready, and I'm going to drive down there and get him. Well, as I'm thinking about it, you better find out what's going on before you just drive down there.
Start touching things.
And let me just make this clear. I've read a lot of stuff where people say, hell no, you know, that not my son. I would never turn my son in. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a hard decision, I promise you. And it's the worst decision I've ever had to make, like in my mind. But I knew, because I know him so well, I knew in my heart what was gonna happen. 100%. I knew what was gonna happen. I could hear it in his voice. And you know, I tried, it was so bad, I was trying to almost calm him down, you know, because he was so amped up telling me about it. And you know, he just told me, you know, he left her in the house. He took her car, took her phone, and then he went into he didn't go in detail about Mila much in that situation, but he told me he was driving. He's like, I don't know where I'm at. You know, he hadn't been in Fort Myers, Cape Coral area long at all. So he had no sense of direction. He didn't know where he was at. He was just driving. And to jump to Diane's situation, he told me that he saw her walking down the street. You know, he stopped, he asked her for directions, asked her if she needed a ride, and she got in the car. You know, I don't, you know, I battle with that because I don't get that part of it. And you know, who knows?
Who knows?
Really happened.
At that point, he could have just snatched her up, man.
Yeah. You know,
painted a picture however he wanted to paint it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, he told me she got in the car. And
I hate to stop you again, but you hear comments like that. What kind of girl would just jump in someone's car? You know what I mean? We don't know. You're don't know, man.
Don't know what
people
happened.
will take anything and run with it, man. You know, it can't. You got to leave. It's too many possibilities. You know, we only know what we know.
And there was only 2 people there for that situation, and he's the only one that's able to tell what happened.
Yeah.
So, you know, he told me they drove for a few minutes, and he said, Dad, I just reached over and I just choked the bitch out with one hand, you know, and I was driving with the other. He said he then was looking for somewhere to dump her body, and he drove around for a little bit, and he said he went in and dumped her body in the woods. And he said to me, when he pulled her out of the car, he realized that she was still alive. And he said he got back in the car and he said, Dad, I run that bitch over till she looked like spaghetti.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Hearing my son say that to me, I realized at that point that it was over. You know, I knew he enjoyed it. I knew he wanted me to feel, I don't even think intentionally he wanted me to feel his excitement. I just feel like he just was so amped up talking about it. You know, that's just how it came off to me. It was almost like he wanted me to feel, you know, I don't want to say joy. I don't know what the feeling was. Just adrenaline, maybe. You know, he wanted me to feel that.
Maybe he wanted you to have some kind of a acceptance of it a little bit. Listen, I don't know, man. Or maybe, you know, he was trying to get you tricked the hell up too. There's some little, like, some bitter payback stuff. He's going down. He's going to bring the dad that should have been there for me down too. You never know. Because, you know, anyone who's been locked up knows you talking like to someone like that, you're making them an accessory right off the break. Yeah. Anyone would know that. And if they care about him at all, they wouldn't, you know? So they'd be very bland. But from what he's broke down everything to you.
And I'm giving you the short version of things. When I tell you, it's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. It's the worst thing that I've ever listened to in my life. And it amplified it so much because, like I said, all I could think about was him as a baby, you know, just that innocent kid, you know. And I just was, in my mind was like, how did we get here? You know what I mean? How did we get here? Because he wasn't raised like that. His adoptive family, they're solid people, good people, hardworking, honest Christian people.
Have you spoken to them at all since that took place?
Yeah, I've spoken with his mother. Yeah,
I can only imagine how they're feeling about it. Like they can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I know how I feel. I can only imagine raising him. You know, and they went through a lot. You know, they tried everything with him. I mean, they tried everything. They put him in facilities to try to help him. They knew he was using drugs. They tried to get him help. You know, he was in and out of detention centers, and, you know, he chose a different route. You know, they did their job, and they tried to instill morals and good values in him.
Yeah, salute to them, man. You know,
so they're solid people. This is not a reflection, anything on any part of them, because they really are great people.
Yeah.
So there's a part of it that never came out in the court. And, you know, after he was arrested, him and I spoke on the phone a few times. And it was 2 days after he was arrested, I got a call from that same detective. And she asked me, she said, do you think that Wade would talk to you? And I said, yeah, I think he'll talk to me. And I asked her why, and she said, you know, we're searching for Diane's body, and we can't find her. Do you think if you came down and visited with him, you know, that we could try to get some information, anything about it, you know? And I said, yeah. So the next day, my wife and I drove down, and she stayed in the truck, and I went in to visit him. And
they give you a normal visit or some kind of special visit?
Through the glass on the phone.
Okay.
You know, he came up to the glass and he looked at me and he said, Dad, did you turn me in? And I said, yeah, I did. And he said, why? And I said, son, the excitement that I heard in your voice on the phone scared me, because I knew that if you got away with this and got out of this area, that you would do it again.
Yeah.
And, you know, he looked at me for a minute and he said, you know, you know me so well. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, you're exactly right. That's exactly what I would have done. And hearing him say that, it just solidified for me that I had made the right decision.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because, you know, he openly said that to me, man, that was his intention, to get out of this area and keep on going. I said, listen, you know, the second woman, I said, you know, she has 2 kids, right? And he was like, no. And I said, yeah, you know, I said, it's really hard for me, son, to sit at home and watch this media coverage and seeing her children on TV begging their mom to come home. I said, it's hard for me, son, because you and I both know that that's not going to happen. And I said to him, I said, you know, think about it. What if that was your sisters, your mother, your biological mom, you know, a woman you cared about? What, you know, would you want just, you know, someone to do the right thing? You know, I said, right now you look like an animal. I said, but you can turn it around. You know, you can do the right thing. I said, they need to find her body. And he was, you know, he had tears in his eyes. And he said, well, what do I do? I said, you tell the truth, son. I said, you tell the truth. What's done is done. You can't change it, but you can try to make it a little better, you know, for this family. And I didn't anticipate for him to go into detail with me about it, you know, but he said, I'm not familiar with Fort Myers. You know, I don't know the area. And I just thought to myself for a second, I said, did you throw her purse out of the car? And he said, yeah. I said, well, they found her purse. And it's like a light bulb clicked in his head. And he said, okay, well, where her purse was, you know, if you go down a little bit, there's like a neighborhood where they're building houses. They're real spread out. He said, I turned in there and I went to the back and I saw a wooded area, and that's where I put her body. So, thankfully he did that. You know, he did the right thing with that.
So and the truth.
I know they found her body that day. So, he asked me, you know, will you tell the detectives to come talk to me? And I'll tell them the truth. Well, they were watching the video, you know, the visit. So they already knew the truth. And they did come talk to him that night. And that's where that confession that was played in court, that's when that happened. I've heard people say, he was set up. I've read stuff that says, his dad probably did it.
Yeah.
And he's, using his son as the fall guy. I had such a feeling listening to him tell me what he had done. It got to the point where I put the phone on speakerphone because I felt like if I told my wife this, she wouldn't have believed me.
Yeah.
And I felt like I needed somebody else to hear this because I almost felt, I went back to like seeing him born in my memory, bringing him home, holding him as a baby, sleeping with him, bathing him, feeding him, doing all these things with him. I missed all those other years. So my memory of him was as a baby. And now he's a man. And I'm hearing this man that I helped create, telling me the details of all these things with joy in his voice. It made me want to throw up. I literally put the phone away and felt like I was just going to throw up. And at that moment, that's the moment when I realized I hadn't even heard about Diane's situation yet. But just the details that he went into about Kristine, rolling her up in the bedding and tying her up and dragging her down trying to get her to the car, but he couldn't. She was too heavy, hearing him describe those things to me, I can't explain that feeling, from your kid, your son. Yeah, I didn't raise him. But we had a strong connection because he knew my past and we talked about that. We talked about, getting help for his demons, getting him some drug help to get off the drugs. We had detailed conversations, and that's why he called me. That's why, he felt comfortable to talk to me about it, because I think a part of him knew that I wouldn't judge him on it, but he knew I wouldn't be okay with it, because we had countless conversations about the physical stuff with these girls in the past, and I would try to give him a different perspective. What if that was one of your sisters, man? What if that was your biological mom? What if that was your adopted mom? Would you want somebody treating them that way? But it never changed. I know, Dad, I know I'm wrong, but the cycle would continue,
It's sad, you guys. I like Steven. People like Wade make drugs and having a diagnosis appear like change and help isn't possible. It makes people who use or are diagnosed with something look like crazy monsters. My biological family, my blood, to this very day is wrapped up in the hard stuff. And it's taken me a long time to identify the good behind the bad. Good people sometimes make bad decisions, but bad decisions lead down bad paths, bad things happening. However, I have a lot of respect for Steven, his biological dad, because he's a really good example of something more realistic, like how people can get into bad things or they can make bad choices, but it's always possible to turn your life around and be someone that you're destined to be. And I do believe when I hear Steven talk and I look in his eyes and I watch his energy, I really think he's a really good person at his core. Now, Wade has been sentenced to death as of lately, 2024. And it's been said that Steven, his biological dad, will be attending his execution, allegedly. So this guy, Steven, will be spending the rest of his years waiting for that day to come. Like, he's waiting. He's kind of in a prison of his own, waiting for the day that he gets to watch his son die. And then he gets to spend the remainder of his life healing from that. All because his son wanted to get to know his biological dad. And meanwhile, he's got to live in society like any of us. He's got to live a normal life. He's a husband. He's a dad. He's got bills like the rest of us. This is killing his father. Okay? And that breaks my heart. That hurts me. That somebody like Wade would do that. That somebody like Wade took these women out. That somebody like Wade has continuously hurt people all his life. But Wade's not thinking about that. He doesn't think about the pain that he's caused others. He's absent and evil. And while incarcerated, he has not stayed out of trouble. This didn't all go away. I mean, he's got his teeth knocked out from years ago, from being jumped in a previous time behind bars. I mean, yeah. By the way, yeah, when he met Kristine and he was dating Mila, I'll just clear this up. He didn't have the nice teeth. And it's so funny. These enablers go on social media and TikTok and all that, and they're posting about Wade, who's 30, from like when he was like a teenager or like a really early adult, when people were trying to get him help, like he's something pretty. And again, we'll get to that, but you never see them posting pictures or videos of like the teeth missing or in the orange jumpsuit. They're like living in the past. Anyway, he was attempting to escape, and then he's on charges for drug trafficking within prison. His defense was trying to fight for his rights to avoid the death penalty by stating that he had a lot of brain trauma from sports and 2 car accidents and drug use. So, I don't know. We already know hugs, not drugs, right? But the brain damage stuff is real. Look at Aaron Hernandez. I know that OJ's family didn't want him tested, but I thought in my heart that he also had brain damage from all his days in football. So what about him? And how he turned out. You guys should go watch my video on O.J. Simpson if you haven't seen it. And you guys should watch the Aaron Hernandez Netflix documentary. And then come back and visit here, because all these people have a lot of weird things in common. Okay? They're kind of like blank. Like, they're gone. They've done some weird shit too. All of them murdered. I mean, I know people will fight me on O.J. And I'm sorry. You're right. He died a free man. But in my video, I tell you what I think. But anyway, it's weird. They have a lot in common, But ultimately, the judge ruled that, given the facts of the case, nothing in the defendant's background or mental state would suggest that a death sentence was inappropriate. So, yeah, he's on death row now. I don't know how long the list is for something like death row. I think it's, dependent on where he actually lands and stays. You let me know if you have experience in this field, but I'm not really 100% sure if he's going to make it there. Also, he has a lot of really offensive tattoos. My husband's really educated in like the swastikas that are painted on people's bodies. Like, he was telling me about that at one point. It's not good. Like, you're kind of asking for it when you do shit like that. Okay, so in closing, Chelsea J has a message for Wade supporters. All right. People actually take time out of their day to build him a profile online. Like, they'll update the stories. It's crazy. Worshipping him, lusting for him, crying for him. Wah, free Wade. I can't believe that I have to do this from where I'm sitting. I thought some of you had some more self-respect than that. Like, I thought that maybe at some point in your life somebody would have taught you better, but I guess not. So I'm the one that has to step up and say something now, because see something, say something. My belief is that if that's you, you're not worshiping Wade. You're worshiping the devil himself. Anytime that you see some kind of movement this powerful, this dark, what kind of views like hypnotizing people in society, that's not normal. That's beyond just looking good and being one man, just a good looking man. Okay, this is deeper and it's darker. Something other than mental illness and drugs has control of this guy's life. And open your eyes. Even the people that have had sex with Wade, have kissed his mouth, have had conversations with him. When enough time goes on and they've distanced themselves from that situation, if they've been fortunate enough to do so, they're not saying very good things. Even his biological father, who has a father's love desperately for his son. I think that he's identifying something deeper in this guy that he made, other than Wade Wilson, his good-looking boy. So I'm not sure how many more signs that you need to realize that even people that have had a piece of his pie, they're gone. And a message to you, Wade supporters. I bet these victims would have loved for it to have been you and spare their own life and fulfill their dreams and destinies here on Earth. You need to get your head checked, because a lot of you are taking Satan living within a man or some demonic force in this guy, and you're creating a fantasy on the internet that literally does not exist. Kissing him, you would get your face bit off. Gazing in his eyes, there's nobody home. Being told that he loves you, there is no definition or meaning behind what he says. They're words. He knows how to talk. He doesn't know how to mean what he says. Sex with him would get you raped and strangled. Talking to him, you gotta woo the crap out of him and give him money for him to give you a lie as the time of day. We're gonna get into that in a minute with some phone calls. What is this? World of Warcraft? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. What planet are you living on? Come back to Earth. Get back right with your life. Stop being disgusting and lusting. Have some self-respect. It's time to grow up. Earth to Wade supporters. Okay? Shake it off. It's like you care more about his looks than he does. It's like you care about his life more than he does. And guess what? He's a master of puppets and you're his puppet. And some of y'all are standing in line to be hooked to the string so he can play with you. Some of you are going to work, shift work, clocking in, clocking out. You have rent. You have debt. You have a car payment. You need to feed yourselves. You're trying to pay off school. And you're putting it in his kiosk to support him. So wake the fuck up and get real. Okay, let's end with some phone calls. This guy calls himself Jumpsuit Pablo. Okay, if that doesn't say he's gonna be hilarious, I don't know what does. He's amazing. Just so you know, these are a compilation of small bits, small tidbits where he's talking to different people, and the guy just throws in his humor and his thoughts, because quite frankly, I think when we hear Wade Wilson, if we're not enablers, if we're not supporters, when we hear him talk, we're like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But he has this hilarious spin on it. And so I'll do my best to put little snippets and kind of make it make sense for you. And then we're going to close out the video.
What's up?
What the f*** is wrong with you, dude?
I can't believe you picked up the phone, dude.
I can't believe I picked up the phone either.
Hey, baby. Baby, can you just call me baby, though? You don't have to call me dude and stuff.
Yes, baby. I love you.
I love you, baby. How are you?
Why?
I know.
Why are you out here killing people, Wade? I know, baby. You know me.
You had to get a new phone, baby? I'm so sorry, baby.
You had, oh my gosh. I mean, I know I've done horrible things to people and it's affected them, their life and their families and countless other people, but you had to get a new phone? You had to go down to T-Mobile? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, honey. Oh my goodness.
Phone and my car.
Yeah. Baby, I want to tell you something. Well, obviously, you know, I'm never coming home again.
I know that.
You know. And so, it sucks really bad.
What the fuck? Why do you do this to me? We had everything going for us.
I'm sorry, baby.
We had everything going for us.
I know, baby. I know we did.
You were out. You were in the clear.
I was good. I was good.
We had everything going for us. You just got all those new fancy face tattoos. Looking great. You were going to get that big job at the big law firm? Dang it, Wade.
Yeah.
You had 2 years of probation. I'm just happy.
Baby, I know, baby. I know.
Fucking with you, Wade.
I know, baby.
I'm never going to see you again. You know that.
You're not going to see me again?
Well, how?
Why
You're
can't...
going to go for the rest of your life, Wade.
Yeah, you won't come visit me? You're not going to come see me in prison? You don't have to, but it'd be nice.
You know what you tried to do to me as well.
No, Mila, you know why I did that? Because I was trying to tell you what was going on, and you were fucking putting on a show, dude.
Or what?
Tried to what, Mila?
Attack me?
No, baby. I was not trying to attack you, but you were like...
Oh, baby, you got it all wrong. I wasn't... I know what I did to those other 2 girls, but We were just playing, baby. It's a wrestling move. I was trying to show you something. It's called the Stone Cold Stunner. Yeah, you got me all wrong. Oh, come on.
Like, that girl was there. You were causing a scene. I didn't want to do that.
Because I didn't want to get in the car with you because you were scaring me.
Well, no shit, but I was trying to tell you what was going on, you know? Baby, I was trying to tell you. That's all I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to hurt you.
Why did this happen?
Huh? What, baby?
Why? What is going on? How did this happen? How did this happen?
I don't know,
How did
dude.
you do this? How? Like, tell me. I want answers.
You want answers? Well, remember when I went to that dude's house or whatever?
Wait, no. Okay, listen. You went to somebody's house? Okay, listen.
Yeah.
My hellcat was driving away. Was that girl in the car?
They were both in the car.
Who? Two girls?
Yeah.
You had two girls in my car and driving away. Who was driving?
The dude, remember the dude that we were in the bar with? That was sitting there.
It was,
I love how she's more upset about the fact that he was with two other girls than the fact that he's killed girls. Wait a minute, Wade?
Yeah. Baby, listen to what I'm saying. Remember the dude that was sitting at the table that bought us the shots? Remember?
yes.
Okay. I went to his house.
Yes, with the two girls.
Yes.
What happened? See, say something. You can talk in code or whatever. Just say something.
Wait, what? What, baby?
You can talk in code or whatever you have to.
Just confess, Wade. You can talk in silly jail code or whatever if you have to. Just tell me. If he can talk in code to you to convey what happened, and you can understand that and figure that out, you don't think trained professionals can't listen to this and figure out the code he's talking in? People are so stupid, dude.
No, baby, they already know. I don't have to talk in code.
Well, then tell me what happened then. I
fucking killed the bitch.
Wow.
Why, Wade? Why?
Because we went to this dude's house, Mila, and remember when he kept showing us the pictures? Oh, I got this, or whatever.
Yes.
So I went to his house and I did a lot of it. Like, he was giving me a lot, and I was doing a lot of. Huh?
Why did you kill that girl?
I shouldn't have. I'm wrong.
Tell me what
Yeah,
happened.
no
you
shit.
had sex with her? You went and killed her? What?
No, I didn't have sex with her. I killed her though.
Why? Why, Wade?
Because I was fucking freaking out on those drugs. Whatever he gave me must have been like fucking bath salts or something else. It wasn't cocaine.
What happened to where you grabbed a knife and stabbed her? What happened?
I didn't stab her. Who said I stabbed her?
People keep saying you stabbed the girl. How'd you kill her?
No. I
Choked her out.
I choked her out till she died.
Wait, what? Who's out there dragging my good name and my good face through the mud and saying I stabbed that girl? Who? Tell me who. I want names. Because that is false. I never stabbed her. I choked her until she died. So set the record straight.
So she was dead.
You that you were going to do that to me one day.
Mila, I was never going to do that to you, babe. Mila, I didn't even want to fucking... Mila, when I came back to see you, the only reason I was freaking out like that wasn't because I was trying to scare you. It was because I had to tell you... Mila, I know I did, but I know, Mila. Mila, I'm sorry. You know I love you, baby. I'm sorry for doing that to you. I was wrong. But I didn't...
I'm never going to see you again now.
You can...
everything going for you.
Baby, will you please see me again? This is going to ruin my life if you never see me again, please.
Your life is...
This is going to ruin your... Baby, if you don't come visit me, my life is over. Don't you get it? Brother, I got some bad news for you. Your life is over already.
It's ruined, babe. What do you not understand? You can't...
Yeah, but if I have you in my... At least if I have you in my life, I won't feel like it's over, you know? Mila, I understand, like, you... Mila.
And the other girl. Why? She was walking to work, motherfucker.
Yeah, no. I know, Mila.
Why couldn't you rob her? Why did you have to kill her?
Wade! Why couldn't you just use your head for a second? Why would you not do what any other human being would do and just rob her? Why'd you have to kill her? Dang it, why? You could have just robbed her. You need to lock Mila up too, bro. Something's wrong with that chick. You need to lock her ass up too.
That's
Sorry
because I
for
was
the
freaking out on the drugs. I was on the drugs. The drugs had me fucking. I know, and listen to me. I'm fine. I know you're gonna fucking find another man that's free. Obviously, I know that. I can't
date you. You killed 2 women and you tried to murder me. I think you would have killed me too.
Baby, that's a fucking lie. You better fucking never believe that ever. I would.
You better never believe that ever, or I'll kill you. I mean, no, dang it! Ah, crap.
Right on the balcony. I'm gonna stab you right now. I'm gonna kill you.
I didn't say I was gonna stab you, Mila.
Yeah. No, you can't say it. I'm gonna kill you right now. Right before you come to me, you said I'm gonna kill you.
Oh. Yeah. No. You're right. I did say that.
Baby, it's because I was trying to scare you to fucking shut up so I could tell you what I had just done. Baby, listen. Baby, listen. Listen, let me.
This isn't funny. I'm sorry to keep. This isn't funny, but it's just. I don't know what to say.
Tell you something. Me and you were like Bonnie and Clyde. So if I had just gone and done something crazy, I should be able to come back and tell you. I couldn't even tell you because you're causing a scene. Now I'm scared because I know what I've just done. I'm trying to tell you. You won't let me tell you.
You're worried about
What was that laugh? This guy's a psycho. He's sick, bro. This dude is sick. That laugh tells me everything I need to know about him.
I'm sitting here drinking Patron.
Are you drinking Patron?
Yeah. The fuck out.
What are you at the spa? Are you at the spa drinking?
I'm at the spa alone by myself, yes.
So you just want to stop talking to me? I don't want you to.
I love you still, but
I know.
How do I do this?
We get over it and we try to work through it.
We get over it. Just get over it. They're gone. That's old. You're still talking about that thing that happened? Oh, baby. You really got to let things go. You got to move on, baby. Come on.
An inmate at the Lee County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse, your current balance is $5.15.
Money getting low,
This
Wade.
telephone call may be monitored or recorded. Thank you for using GTL.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, baby girl. How are you? Hey, baby.
See, this is y'all's fault. All y'all who've been keeping up with these calls in the comments, I'm so sick of them hearing hearing each other, call each other baby. I'm so sick of it. Well, this is what you get. Now she's calling him daddy. I hope you're happy. This is your fault.
Hey, will you be able to put money on so I can eat though? Can you do that for me?
No, I'm doing that. Don't worry.
All right. Well, listen. Hold on. Can you do that right now though? Because here's.
I don't have a credit. Wait.
Oh.
I actually stuck at my spa. They have my health card and they seized it. So
They did?
Yeah. The dead girl's shoes are in my car.
The dead girl's shoes are in my car. Wow. Very empathetic there, Mila. Way to go.
No, fuck no. Hell no. No.
Did you put your dick in them or no?
No.
They're saying that you did both of them.
No, they did. Who's saying that? Who?
Me.
Who? The media? Yeah, that's not true. That's not true, baby. I
Did
didn't do
you
that.
put your dick in both of them?
No. No, neither one. But they're saying that though. I guess they're saying that though. Of course they're gonna, baby. They're gonna say that, but they're gonna do a kiss, and they're gonna find out that's not true. That's really not true, baby. I promise.
Either one of those girls.
No, I didn't fuck either one of those girls. I just killed them. I didn't fuck them.
There's a sentence for the century right there. No, I didn't R-word either one of those girls, baby. What do you think I am? What do you think I'm a monster? I didn't do that. Just killed him. Come on.
Can you need to stop saying that, Wade. I'm worried about you a little bit.
Okay, baby. Listen, can I tell you something though, love? Baby?
What?
Baby?
What?
Can I, please?
What?
I know you're worried about me.
Please tell me everything, yes.
I will. Okay, well, no, I was going to say, once I'm done with this phone, I'm gonna pass it down to the guys that are next to me, and then I'm gonna get it back. So I'll be able to call you again later. But here's what I was gonna do: is the kiosk, like I got my arms through a fucking door, and I'm using these machines. The kiosk is coming.
The arms through a door, you can't even have the phone in your hand.
No, it's in my hand, but I have to grab it through the door and pull it through the little hole in the door. Yeah. But listen, I'm getting the kiosk next, and on the kiosk, I can put
Can you believe how they're treating me, baby?
my canteen order in. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to ask you.
The problem is I have no idea where my credit card is.
Oh, Jesus.
Even if I put my
Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, Mila. This is ridiculous. Well, you need to find it. Find it.
Can I put in with you for an attorney?
Thank you for using.
Shut up. Get down here and put his Snicker bar money on here.
TTL.
You're talking about attorney. Uh-oh. Wade's dad tells him about Mila going to the media.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, buddy.
God damn, it finally worked, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened. It went right through this time. Listen, I'm just going to cut to the chase with this because it's pissing me off really bad. I don't know what, and I was about to go off on that call with Mila. So, I would rather talk to you privately first. I'm trying to understand something.
Yeah.
Where are you and her at right now? Okay.
Oh, she said we're still.
Where are y'all at?
She said she's not going to leave me.
Okay. Well, let me tell you the truth. Do you know anything about media or anything with her?
No. What happened?
Okay. So
his heart just dropped. His heart dropped into his stomach, and his stomach is thudding right now. He knows something bad's coming.
Yesterday when you called, she set your fucking ass up. She had a news reporter there and had you on speakerphone, dude. And the news reporter heard you telling her you're the best. They've got it all over the TV. Okay, I'm getting ready to play it for you. My wife's sitting here, and she's got the story where Mila calls you a fucking monster, where she says you're a psychopath and she's your ex and you were going to kill her. And they recorded your conversation with her where you're saying, don't leave me. You're the best thing ever. You know that, right? And then she's like, I'm so confused. So she's playing you right now because she's got the goddamn media there. Now I'm gonna play it for you. I want you to listen to this. This is your fucking girl on fucking TV.
I'm not going to lie, y'all. I mean, all things aside, I understand. Let's put all the details and the context and his atrocities aside. That's a dad right there.
Hey, it's only 51 cents on here. Yeah. So we're only gonna talk for a second. So why don't you have to call me back so I can put more money on it? I don't know how to do it unless you call me.
Now you're talking his language. Put more money. Okay, all right, no problem, Dad.
Or is there a way to do it? Yeah, because I need to talk to you.
Oh, you do?
Uh-oh.
I do. I do badly. Okay. Yeah, very badly.
That ain't good.
All right, I'll call you back.
So, how long does 51 cents last?
You said what?
How long does 51 cents last?
I'm really not sure, Dad. I don't really know.
It can't be much.
No, probably like
well, Waitricus, you know every dang thing else when it comes to money and the kiosk and the canteen and the phone. Now you don't know how much 51 cents cost? Come on now, Waitrix.
Accepting the call, I think.
You have 1 minute.
Oh, well, there you go, brother. I guess you got your answer.
Remaining.
There you go.
Okay, listen. Call me.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, I'll
call me until call.
It's not good. He's.
Are you doing okay?
No, I'm not doing okay. Quick.
Yeah. Are you doing okay?
No, I'm not doing okay. I'm not.
No.
Actually.
Why?
My ankles are freezing, Papa.
What's wrong?
Well, I'll tell you about it when I call you back because there's only like 20 seconds. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing good in that amount of time. But I'll let you know.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, call me right back because it's going to hang up in a second. So.
All right, then. I'll call you back.
Thank you for using GTL.
Dad goes off on Wade. Uh-oh.
What's up, Dad?
What's up, Wade?
What's up?
What's wrong with you?
Huh?
I said, what's wrong with you?
Oh,
what isn't wrong with that guy?
That's all.
I know. I said, is everything okay? And you said no.
Yeah, I'm in jail, bro. That's why everything's not okay.
Oh, well, you already.
What's with the attitude talking to your father? Yeah, I mean, you act like it's not your fault that you're in jail, bro. The hell are you talking about?
None of that.
You're being smart for it.
So I want to tell you about a few things on how I feel about a few things, okay?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
All right. First of all, that GoFundMe account, that shit was a pretty stupid move, okay? And I understand, you're trying to get money and all that. I get that part of it. But because of that is what sparked all the other bullshit that now is all over the goddamn news. So, listen, I don't know why you felt the need to sit down and have conversations with these media people and go into detail like you did, because I'm telling you how it was received. It was received from everybody who has heard it, and people are posting all over shit, and they're commenting, and the news. You sounded horrible. You sounded like a straight liar.
Well, he is horrible, and he is a straight liar. He already confessed. He confessed while Mila had the news people there, so they broadcasted and aired out his whole confession, and now he's on here like, oh, I'm innocent. I never did any of this stuff. By the way, there's a GoFundMe. You dang right there's going to be public outrage, and people are going to be posting, and he deserves every bit of it.
We're stumbling over your words. You were repeating things, trying to... come up with what you were saying, and it really came off bad, Wade. Really, really, really bad.
It is bad.
You got to look at it from another perspective sometimes. And, now they're blasting these phone interviews all over the place where you talk about, having sex with Kristine. You didn't even say your name right.
I remember that. He didn't even say her freaking name right. And if I can add something, I am on TikTok. I'm pretty large over there. Got about 800,000. No flex. I'm just saying. It's part of my job. I got to be on TikTok, and inevitably, I'm seeing a lot of Wade Wilson thirst trap fangirl edits of him, his best, sexiest moments in the courtroom, and he's always so quiet and got a little smirk or a little serious face or a little little face or doing a little gesture, and women are putting this little sexy music and all these little filters on these videos, making him look so sexy. He's so tall and tatted and quiet and mysterious and dangerous. I hope every single one of you women watch these videos and hear these phone calls, because this takes away all the mystery. When you think he's all strong and silent, he's on here begging like a little boy who's cold and needs his long johns and needs a bag of chips because I'm hungry. He sounds like a little boy. Let me tell you something, brother. There are plenty of ways to hustle in jail, prison, all that. I don't care what part of it you're in or how. No. You can hustle at any point in any part of any jail and any prison and come up with your own money and your own necessities to survive in there and get by. And this guy is not man enough to do it. He just wants to mooch and leech off anybody who will buy his little stupid little sob story, and he's going to get on there and whine like a little baby. So, This is the guy that some of y'all women out there, not all, but some of y'all weird women out there find sexy. This little dumb little idiot right here. He's not strong and silent and sexy. He's on the phone. Dad, there's $20 kiosk at Long John's.
Kept saying Kristen, and her name's Kristine. So Kristen's the chick you're talking to now. So that really looked bad.
Yeah.
What else looked bad is it's like the media doesn't give a fuck about you, Wade. They're not the judge and they're not the jury. So you trying to convince them thinking, oh, they're going to put my story out there and people are going to feel bad for me or see it my way.
Yeah.
It did the exact opposite. 100% the exact opposite. So now what Mila's going to do, and I'm just guessing this, I don't know for sure, but what Mila's going to do is now she's going to come back and do her own story to combat the fact that Mila's spa isn't your and hers business. Her car isn't you and hers car. You know, you just...
Her car is not even her car. I don't give a fuck. Her car is not even her car.
Okay,
her car is under some sugar daddy's name.
Your dad isn't telling you what really is your dad is telling you how it's going to get played, who's going to do what to set what narrative and how it's going to get put on the media. How about you shut your freaking mouth? Use those stitches that you got tattooed on your face. Keep your mouth shut and listen to somebody who's trying to tell you how it's coming off on the news. It don't matter it don't matter if it's y'all's car, your car, her car. It don't matter if her spa's for escorts or if it's for massages and singing Tibetan singing bowls and incense getting lighted. It don't matter. It's about what's going to get put out there and how people are going to perceive it. He can't even shut up long enough to take it in and use his brain. But then again, that's why he did what he did. That's why he's at where he's at, and that's why your ankles are cold, brother.
I can give a fuck.
Okay. But, you're all over there saying, me and Mila, we have a Hellcat. We have a 2016 Hellcat. No, you don't.
You know what, Dad? I don't give a fuck, man. I didn't tell the media shit, bro. I didn't tell them anything that's bad for me. They can say I'm stumbling on my words. Who gives a fuck, man?
How are you going to tell the guy who heard your soundbite, he heard your interview, that you didn't tell the media anything that he's telling you about what he heard? He's telling you what he saw and heard on the TV. And you're sitting here saying, I never did that. You're an idiot.
Listen. You can think that way. It's going to bite you in your ass.
I'm sorry to keep. I'm telling why Wade's getting worked up here and he's getting angry. You know why? Because he knows he screwed up. He knows he screwed up. He thought he had it all figured out. He thought he was Mr. Smart Guy. He thought he had a master plan. Thought he was the real life Joker with his little tattoos. And you got played like an idiot, like we all knew he would. And now he's realizing that. Now he's getting pissed at the wrong guy. He's getting pissed at his dad. He's just a messenger. Papa's just a messenger. Don't get mad at him. Don't start getting all snippy and snarky with him. You did that, brother, just like you did everything else to get you in this position.
Because now what's going to happen is when these attorneys, when they charge you and these attorneys come to you, I mark my words, they're going to say to you, listen, the worst thing you ever did was do those news interviews, because now you're locked into a story that we can't change. So when you're saying all this to the media, you left out the visit between you and me when on a recorded visitation, you said what you said. Phone calls between you and me where you said what you said.
Yep.
When you talked to Mila and you told her, the media
but who
was
told them? Who told
next to her.
Who told them anything about phone calls between me and you? Who told them that?
Wait, it's
who told them that?
Record, son.
Who told?
Yeah. Literally, by tomorrow, Minimum 45,000 people will have heard this phone call with you, Wade. Nobody has to tell them. It's like your dad just said, it's public record, brother.
Told him that.
Nobody has told them. The detectives have it, son.
Okay, so no one told them that? Stop it, Dad.
No,
Stop it, Dad.
Mila,
Give it up, man.
Mila, listen, when you talk to Mila, the media was next to her. She had it on speaker and heard you.
I know that. I already know that. I know that. But I'm talking about with me and you talking on the phone. Who said that? And who's the one that, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Right, okay.
Wade, you're not hearing me. Nobody said that. I'm telling you that the detectives, you think they didn't watch that? Do you think they didn't hear all that?
Fact.
They came to talk to you later that night after we visited, and you called me the next day, and I said, hey, did they come see you? Yeah, they came to see me. What happened? I told them the truth, Dad. They have all that. You think that's not going to come up in court?
So talking to the media, talking to the media doesn't fucking matter then.
It changes everything. It shows that you don't give a fuck. It shows that now you're changing your story.
Dude, brother, you're mad at the wrong person. Well, you should be mad at yourself. I mean, ultimately, it's good that you screwed up so bad and slipped up so hard and admitted like a dummy to all these people. But if you're going to be mad and upset about that you made such stupid decisions from the criminal's perspective, don't be mad at your dad. Be mad at yourself.
You know what? I give a fuck about people that give a fuck about me. That's what I give a fuck about.
You should.
All I care about is people who put Long John money on my kiosk. So screw you, Daddy.
That's what I give a fuck about. And I'll tell you what. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I give a fuck about. Period.
I understand, but what does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Nothing. I'm just letting you know.
What does that
people that have my best interest in mind, I give a fuck about. Everybody else, I could give a fuck less.
And who is that? Don't
worry about who that is.
Kristine?
Don't worry about who that is. Don't worry about who that is.
Yeah, that's what I went. What? No, you talking crazy now, brother.
Yes.
Okay.
Talking crazy now, brother.
Yes.
Okay. Wade.
Get him, Daddy.
Good luck to you, son.
Good luck to you, Dad.
Remember.
Yeah.
Just remember when you shit on me, Dad. Every time you shit on me. Remember that. Yeah, every time you shit on me, Dad.
Okay, buddy. Okay, Wade. All right.
Oh, so you didn't shit on me, Dad? You didn't shit on me?
I haven't.
Bro, you ran over a woman and choked another to death. Just shut up. This man said he'd buy you a tablet that he doesn't have to buy you because they're free. You played him. This man puts phone money on your phone so y'all can talk. This man tries to give you advice to keep you from looking like an idiot. This dude, man.
Shit on you?
Did you or did you
shit on you?
Come on, man.
Of course I didn't shit on you.
Don't ask me that question like you
How
don't
did
know.
I shit on you?
Don't ask me that question like you don't know.
How did I shit on you?
Do you want me to not have anybody? You want me to not have anybody in my life? Is that what makes you happy? Is that what makes but that's what you do.
I say that?
He hasn't said anything like that. He's honestly doing a little more than he should to protect you because you know what? You don't deserve protection.
Every time. That's the shit you do, man. You know, you're not stupid. You're not fucking, you don't have an IQ of fucking, you don't have an IQ of 50, bro. You're not a stupid motherfucker,
You're
bro.
Right.
Try me. You don't want me to have anybody in my life. That's crazy. You want to just kick everyone out on my life, bro.
Wait, save that shit. Don't get on fucking TV talking about I'm a God-fearing man and I've got 2 little kids. You haven't asked me one time about your fucking kids. Not one time.
Facts. Truth. That's the Long John truth, Wade. That's the Long John truth. We've listened to every call this man has made. If all you knew about this man was from these phone calls, you wouldn't even know he had kids. Tell him, hey, listen, get him, Dad. Let him know. Let him know.
Now you're on fucking the media talking about your God-fearing.
and I've got 2 kids, you're a dumbass. Because your stupid ass did what you did, your stupid ass admitted it, and now your stupid ass is on TV claiming you're innocent. You dumb bitch.
Oh! And that's the bottom line. Because Wade's dad said so. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh. My goodness. Sweet baby Jesus. Okay, let's play. Oh,
well.
Now your stupid ass is put it out on TV.
Hey, look how.
Guess what, you stupid
look
ass.
how when I call you out.
With that.
Look how when I call you out, how you snap. You see what I'm saying?
look how when I call you out, you snap. No, look how when you turn on the only person who's still trying to have your back, even though, let's be real, he probably shouldn't. But I think internally he's struggling as a father with what you did and the morality and the inhumanity of that. And then also with being your father still at the end of the day through everything else. And you're going to talk to him and say the thing. You're going to talk to him the way you did on this call and say the things you said to him on this call. Oh, yeah, he snapped and he went ahead and let you have what he's been holding them this whole time. He tried to put it to you as nice and respectfully as he could. Hey, Wade, I'm just telling you, maybe, I don't know. Hey, listen, buddy, watch what you say a little bit. Oh, yeah? Well, all right, you dumb bitch. You're an idiot. There, I said it. Nobody cares if your ankles are chilly. You pushed them to that.
That's super, super great, right? So go subscribe to Jumpsuit Pablo. And just so you know, as a reminder, these were not all the facts. Even Wade's father, biological dad, Stephen, has said people love to post for media's sake. And I'm going to respect that because there's some families on here that are probably going to cross paths with my content. Maybe. It could be buried under everything that's already out there. But per se, they actually did. I want it to be respectful. Again, I want to thank you so much for bearing with me on some of these new cameras and settings that I'm working with. This is not the end all be all. I have a very nice camera I typically film on, but I'm not doing that right now because I'm tinkering with sound systems and seeing what works, what doesn't. So thank you for tuning in today. And hug your loved ones. Honor your husbands. Respect your wives. Call your kids. Tell them you love them. Thank you again for tuning in to Chelsea J True Crime. Be blessed, loved ones. Take care. Have a good week.